I just had the revelation of a lifetime. So I'm in the shower and I'm talking to God. And I'm like, Mother, because all this stuff about, who we are over here in America, and where we come from, and, what is our origin. I just got out the shower, so excuse the water, but where we come from, what is our origin? And so I asked God, are we, because I'll go back and say this. I'll say maybe about a year ago, I started asking myself, like, when it started coming out that we are actually the Indians, right? And see, now I gotta go do some research. But oh my God, like it's all coming to me. So I started asking, who were we before they started calling us Indians, right? And my natural inclination was, oh, we are the original Jews. We are the original Israelites. But then last year, I ended up connecting with a woman who also believes that she is an Israelite, and she might be. Black woman. And we were doing, Bible study, and we were studying in the book of Jasher. And in the book of Jasher, I think it starts at chapter 6, it talks about how Abraham separated from the religion or the spiritual practices of his mother and father. And you begin to see him separating himself in that chapter. And, we eventually learned that, God told him to move away so that God could, set him apart, right? So he moved away. Okay, then God showed me the Grand Canyon. And then God said, think about all the negative things that they say about y'all, Black Americans in this country, all around the world. Think about all the negative things. And they always say that, like, Egypt, now they're saying, the Grand Canyon is Egypt, and Egypt enslaved, God's people, right? And so God said to me in the shower just now, all the negative stuff that they say about y'all, if the Egyptians who gave the world mathematics, science, literature, basically everything that the Egyptians have given to the world that was taken and stolen, right? There is rumor that there is Egyptian stuff in the Grand Canyon. That's why 90% of the Grand Canyon is locked and blocked off. God said, if the Egyptians were so bad for humanity, the way, one, the Bible says, and two, the way all these people say, if you were the Egyptians and the Egyptians were so bad, they would show us all the horrible things that the Egyptians did in the Grand Canyon. 90% of the Grand Canyon would not be, it would not be blocked off from the rest of us seeing. So there's stuff in that Grand Canyon that shows that we, us American Indians, are the Egyptians. that we are the ones that gave the world all things, and we still do. Think about it. We still do, right? So I'm like, okay, so what are you saying? We are the Egyptians? The Egyptians did not enslave the Jewish people or the Abrahamic people. The Egyptians didn't enslave them at all, as far as I know. I'm still researching, okay? I'm still researching, right? We did not enslave them. What I'm thinking, because I have come to the conclusion earlier this year that they say, you know how they flip everything. They say that life began in Africa, and then everybody began to kind of branch out from Africa. However, the oldest pyramids and mounds are found in the Americas: Canada, Alaska, Canada, North America, Mexico, South America, the Caribbean. Those where the oldest mounds of the world are. So that would mean that life started here. Life started here. And so when Abraham's God told him to move away so that he could be separated and he could be set apart for God, that was them moving over to Africa. That was them. And back then, there was the Pangea. So it's not that far-fetched. They moved to different parts of the world. That's why in Japan, the original people all over the world are black, because they came from here and moved away. But Abraham was the beginning of all of that, right? And then God showed me the part in the Bible that says, if the world hates you, remember, the world hated me first. And that goes for anybody. If the world hates you for what you're saying or whatever, remember, the world hated me first. Who is the most hated woman in the world? We've been saying it for the past 2-3 years. Malcolm X said it. The black woman is the most hated person in the world. So if you love the black woman, particularly the black woman in America, we are the most educated. We are, all that stuff. We know what black women here do. Us indigenous, us originals. So when Abraham moved away, that was Abraham turning away from the original spiritual practice. That's when we found this male god, he. That's when she, the feminine part of God, was just completely erased. That's when the patriarchy started, was with Abraham. That's why he had to move away from us, because he had betrayed the original spiritual practice. Now, I think his name was like John Smith. I have to find that book, and I keep saying this. In the book that I read, the last part of the book is called The Interior of America. And the interior means before Columbus, right? And he describes what they see when they come over here. They see that we are truly the people of God. And he mistakes us, or purposefully put in that we are the tribe of Judah. We are not the tribe of Judah. We are not Israelites. We are the remnants of the original people of this planet. We are the remnant of the original people that the Creator God created. And Abraham betrayed that Creator and took her out of the whole picture and created this male god that has enslaved the whole world. So we are not to call ourselves Israelites, because we are not. Remember, Father Abraham had many sons. He ain't had no daughters. He ain't had no girls. Completely erase the feminine out of the picture. And we all see the world that we have right now. We are the originals. Us American Indians. We are not. We are American Indians. We are the original. We are the remnants of the original peoples of this planet. We are also the remnant of the people that did not turn their backs against the original creator of all of this. And because the God of Abraham hates the creator of all of this, and the God of Abraham is the ruler of all that's happening in this world, they naturally hate the ones that never turned and grew apostate from the original creator. And that is why the world hates us. Everybody keeps saying, everybody knows who you are except for you. Yeah. Now they're trying to convince us that we are Israelites. We are not. We are American Indians. We are the original peoples of this planet. We are also the remnant of those ancestors that did not turn from the original creator. Here's some proof. If you really study Egyptian religion, they have the 42 laws of Ma'at. If you abide by those 42 laws of Ma'at, everything kind of levels itself out. Somewhere in there, I saw a video that said that showed like hieroglyphs, Egyptian hieroglyphs, where the women were taller than the men and was giving her wisdom to the men who were the kings. But those temples got taken, and instead of burning out or ruining the image of the kings, they ruined the images of the women who were standing above the kings. So we are the originals. We are the Israelites that got the bad name. They gave us a bad rap. Now, I know I said in a video before, like a long time ago, that the world got everything. Think about the gopher wood that's in the Bible, the flood. That's only found in Florida and Georgia. The trees of Bashan, I think it is. Those tall trees in California. It's the only place on this planet that has those trees that big and strong enough to build kingdoms and temples. Yeah. That's why the world hates us. We keep asking, why do everybody hate us so much? I just told you why. Now do your research. And claim your name. That's why they hate us so much.